Today, we're diving into one of the most incredible growth stories out of Southeast Asia. We're talking about Grab, how it went from just an idea, a student project, to this absolute powerhouse that it is today. All right, let's get into it.
I mean, seriously, think about that question for a second. How does that even happen? 25 grand into billions. Well, the answer isn't just some business school case study. It's about solving a real, fundamental human problem.
You know, behind every great company, there's a mission, right? A powerful why. And for Grab, that mission was born out of something pretty raw, a genuine need for safety.
I want you to just picture this for a moment. It's late at night in Kuala Lumpur. You need to get home. You need to hail a taxi. But you're worried. Is the driver trustworthy? Is the fare going to be fair? Is it even safe? That feeling of uncertainty, that was the daily reality for millions, and it's the tiny spark that lit this whole fire.
So, you have this huge, clear problem. The founders saw it, they felt it, and they decided to do something about it. They took their idea from the classroom and brought it straight to the streets.
Now, here's something you might not know. The company we all call Grab today, it actually started out as My Taxi. Yep, it was literally born from a Harvard Business School project by the co-founders, Anthony Tan and Tan Hui Ling. And their goal was so simple but so powerful. Just make booking a taxi safer. That's it.
And get this, they didn't start with some massive pile of venture capital. The whole thing was kicked off with just $25,000. That was prize money they won from that Harvard competition. It's just an amazing reminder that you don't need millions to start a revolution.
And they did not stay small for long. I mean, after launching in Malaysia in 2012, they just exploded across the region. We're talking 2 years, just 2 years, and they were already in the Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, and more. Today, they're a household name all over Southeast Asia. It wasn't just growth, it was a total blitz.
But here's where the story gets really, really interesting. See, the true genius of Grab wasn't just about dominating ride-hailing. It was their vision to become something so much bigger. So, in 2016, they made a huge move. They rebranded from My Taxi to Grab. And this wasn't just a simple name change. It was a declaration. It signaled their new ambition to grab a solution for pretty much every daily need you could think of. And that vision got supercharged in 2018 when they basically absorbed Uber's operations in Southeast Asia, cementing their spot at the top.
So how do you even build a super app? It doesn't just happen overnight. Grab's approach was methodical and frankly brilliant. They started with their core, right? Ride-hailing. Then they layered on the next logical piece, digital payments with GrabPay. This was absolutely crucial. From there, it was a natural leap into food and parcel delivery, and finally into the much bigger world of financial services. Each step was a perfect foundation for the next.
And they just kept going. They kept weaving themselves deeper and deeper into the fabric of everyday life, adding things like supermarket delivery, restaurant bookings, even their own in-app chat. But what's really key is they never forgot where they started. They were constantly adding new safety features, always building on that foundation of trust.
Okay, so this brings us to the big showdown, the classic David versus Goliath story. Grab, the local hero, against the global behemoth Uber. And the way Grab won, it wasn't by being bigger, it was by being smarter.
So what was the secret weapon? It really all comes down to one thing, a hyperlocal strategy. See, while Uber was rolling out its standard, one-size-fits-all global playbook, Grab was on the ground, listening. They knew Southeast Asia was a cash-heavy economy, so they built a payment system that didn't rely on credit cards. They tailored safety features for local concerns to build trust. This obsession with local detail, that's what made all the difference.
And this quote from the founder Anthony Tan just says it all. Their whole philosophy wasn't about being a tech company just for the sake of it. He calls it servant leadership. The goal wasn't to be a super app. The goal was to solve real local problems. It's a completely different mindset.
So, when you step back and look at this whole journey, beyond all the business success, what's the real impact? What are the big lessons we can all take away from this?
You know, their impact is so much bigger than just getting a ride or having food delivered. By bringing things like digital payments and insurance to the masses, Grab has literally become a gateway to the digital economy for millions of people who were previously left out, all across more than 500 cities. That's not just business, that's a massive social change.
So what are the takeaways here? Well, first off, you don't need some perfect 5-year plan to get started. You just need the courage to look at a real problem and say, I'm going to try to fix that.
And, crucially, real growth, the kind that lasts, it happens when you build with your community, not just for them. It just proves that the smallest, humblest beginnings can lead to world-changing results.
And that really brings us to the final thought, the one I want to leave you with. The entire Grab story started by tackling one single problem in one city. So the question isn't just about them, it's about us. What problem, big or small, is right there in front of you, just waiting for someone to solve it?